Good morning. This is Ain't Nobody Squeaky Clean. And as always, I want to thank you guys for joining. As I mentioned, you didn't have to drop through, but you did. So I truly appreciate you taking the time to come on over and listen to me. So today, we're going to talk about something a little personal. Let me take you back. This is winter 1991. I'm a senior on a basketball team, and not just any basketball team, but one of the best teams that I've ever been a part of. We were that team. You know the type. Preseason ranked number one. Expectations through the roof. People already penciling us in for a deep run. We weren't just good, we were supposed to be inevitable. And that is where the problem started. Let me give you a little background. The year before, our junior year, we weren't that good. Our record wasn't good at all. But the building blocks were there. We only had one senior that played a good amount of minutes. Everybody else was underclassmen. So we were developing. We were getting stronger by the minute. And as that junior season ended, we immediately switched gears for our ascension to the top. Summer League, we ended up winning one league and being highly competitive in another league out in the city. So coming into the season, not only were expectations high, but confidence was through the roof. And that's why we were ranked number one coming in. So, because when you're ranked number one before the season even begins, you start believing something that you haven't earned yet. And that's in any facet of life. You start hearing the noise. Walking around the streets, you hear stuff like, man, y'all are stacked. Y'all are going to run through districts. You should be able to make a state run for sure. And slowly, the hunger that you had over the preseason and the time before, that hunger starts to fade because you start believing in the hype. You start believing that you are as good as everybody tells you you are. So fast forward. Our district that year was probably the hardest it has ever been. And the district doesn't exist anymore, so that probably went down as the most competitive year in history. So that doesn't help when you come in overconfident. So you go through your season. We had a lot of ups and downs. We had some amazing moments, but we also had some crucial injuries that we didn't account for. So a lot of things were playing against us. But remember, overconfidence, that's what started a lot of this. So when you get near the end of the season, everything that you've worked for, everything that you talked about, everything that you dreamt about, and then everything that people said you were comes down to one game. And unfortunately for us, we lost. So just like that, season is over. We didn't make a run. We didn't improve the ranking. We didn't even get out of districts. And the crazy part, we weren't the only ones that happened to. You know, back then, teams in Northern Virginia would dominate all year and still get knocked out early when it mattered most. We just never thought it was going to happen to us. So that loss, it stayed with me. And not because we weren't talented, but because that ranking, we believed in that ranking instead of respecting all of the work at all times. So here's the lesson. Nobody cares what you were ranked. Nobody cares what people think you are. Because the scoreboard, the results, the real moments, they don't lie. You can be the most talented, the most hyped, the one everyone is watching, and still walk off the court with nothing. That game taught me something that I still carry to this day. One, potential means nothing without execution. Two, hype doesn't win games, discipline does. Three, and rankings, they don't survive reality. That's just something for people to read in the papers. So let me bring this forward. The same thing, it happens in life. People say, man, you've got a great resume. You should be leading already. You're overqualified. And then you don't get the job. You don't get the opportunity. You don't get out of districts. That doesn't mean you weren't good. It means you still got to prove it when it matters. You still got to execute when nobody cares about your past. And you still got to show up when the lights hit. That loss way back in 91, it humbled me. It taught me. You don't walk into success. You earn it every single time. So if you're sitting there right now feeling like I should be further along, I know I'm better than this, people said I'd be winning by now, good. Use that. Because rankings, they don't matter anymore. It's game time. Don't fall in love with what people say you are. Fall in love with proving it. Shout out to the 91 Hornets. To this day, the best experience that I've ever had in basketball and the worst experience that I've ever had in basketball, all wrapped up into one. But I wouldn't trade it for anything because the lessons that we learned and move forward in life with will stay with us forever. And when we get together, we always reminisce. Because no matter how the season ended, we know how incredible we all were and we all are. Shout out to the Air Force. As always, this is Ain't Nobody Squeaky Clean. Until next time, I hope you have a blessed day and a blessed week.